Welcome back. On the line, we have Dane County Circuit Court Judge and candidate for the Wisconsin State Supreme Court, Susan Crawford. Judge Crawford, how are you this morning?
I'm feeling really good, Sherwin.
Glad to know that you're feeling really good as someone who is literally running against the richest person on planet Earth. Did you ever think in a million years that a Wisconsin State Supreme Court race would be you versus the empire of Elon Musk?
Never in a million years. That was quite a surprise twist here, Sherwin.
Can you remind folks what the issues are? What is at stake? Because this race has garnered national attention. I was going over some of the national headlines. It is mentioned in every major American or even international publication, this state Supreme Court race. So let folks know what is at stake and what are the issues in this race that is garnering such incredible attention.
Yeah, well, I think what it comes right down to, Sherwin, is the future of our Wisconsin Supreme Court, because Elon Musk is trying to buy a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. My opponent, Brad Schimmel, seems perfectly willing to sell one to him. And Brad Schimmel has said that he wants to be on the Wisconsin Supreme Court to be part of Donald Trump's support network. So you got that factor. So that's not what the Supreme Court is for. Just want to remind your listeners that courts are not partisan. They're not there to push a partisan agenda. It's very different than, something like a legislator. It's fine for them to be pushing a partisan agenda. It's kind of part of the job. But judges don't do that. Judges are there to interpret the laws, and they're there to protect the rights of all citizens. And that's why I'm running. I think it is the role of our laws and our Constitution and our society is to protect people, and that's how I would interpret them. But my opponent has different ideas and thinks that our courts and our Constitution should be politicized.
He, as in Elon Musk, was in Green Bay yesterday, and I don't know what's more offensive, the fact that he gave away two $1 million checks to individuals, or the fact that he was wearing a cheesehead hat. And like when you see just this mockery that is being made of our democracy, like how does that make you feel? And like how does that put things in perspective for you?
Yeah, I don't even have words for it, Sherwin. It is so undemocratic to have somebody come in from the outside, not just any somebody, but the richest man in the world, come into our state, and he has spent over $25 million trying to keep me off the Wisconsin Supreme Court. What's he so afraid of here? I am somebody who has a long history as a lawyer and a judge, standing up to protect the safety of our communities and families in Wisconsin, standing up in our courts, fighting for the fundamental rights of Wisconsinites, working for things like voting rights and women's reproductive freedoms. And I've been a judge now for over 6 years in Dane County, just working to make sure everybody who comes into my courtroom gets their day in court. And Elon Musk finds that frightening, apparently, and so much so that he has spent over $25 million trying to put Brad Schimmel on the Supreme Court. And Wisconsinites should be, I hope they're paying attention, and I hope they recognize that this is not normal and it's not democratic to have the richest guy in the world trying to do that.
On the line, Dane County Circuit Court Judge Susan Crawford. She is a candidate for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. That election is tomorrow. Judge Crawford, when I look at the issues, whether it be the 1849 abortion law, whether it be how we draw our congressional and legislative districts in the state of Wisconsin, how we look at legislation like Act 10, which essentially gutted public sector unions, like these are Wisconsin issues. But this race seems to be like a national referendum. Like, how do you see this race? And are you okay with us maybe losing sight of some of these very important issues for Wisconsinites? Because I'm voting on the things that I just mentioned, but a lot of other folks might be voting as a referendum on what is happening nationally. Like, how do you square that circle?
Yeah, well, as a candidate, I have kept my focus on Wisconsin citizens, Wisconsin laws, and the Wisconsin courts. And There's a lot of distractions in this race because people want to blow it up and make it into a referendum about our national politics, and lots of people talking like that. You know, the political pundits are really having a field day with this race. But I'm focused on Wisconsinites, and I think Wisconsinites should be focused on that too, and look at how is this election going to affect their fundamental rights in Wisconsin? Who can they trust to interpret our laws fairly and impartially to protect their rights? And I have to say, it's not the guy who says he wants to be on the court to work for the Trump agenda. It's not, this isn't a partisan race, and our court shouldn't be politicized in that way.
I have a sneaking suspicion that for an April election in a non-presidential year, turnout is going to be up. We do have some information that those who cast their ballots early, that is also up, either folks that voted by mail or people that voted absentee in person. Who do you think that favors with early vote and early returns being as high as they are in this off-year election?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not an expert on these things. I'm a judge. I'm not sort of an expert on reading the early returns in a race like this. But my campaign staff have told me that they think it's looking good, and that they think that those results are favorable, and we're seeing the kind of turnout that we want to see at this point.
About 20 hours, the polls will be open. What do you tell that voter that they don't know, they're not sure? Some people don't even know if they're even going to vote. It's a very last-minute decision for them. What do you say to that person that very well could be the deciding vote? Because we've seen how close Wisconsin has been in a number of elections going back several cycles. What's your last-minute, I guess, nudge to that voter that's not sure if they're going to go turn out tomorrow?
Well, first of all, I'd just say don't give away your power. You know, your right to vote, you're exercising your right to vote is how you have your say in our government, and in this instance, in our courts. So don't give that away by sitting this out. And make sure that you are paying attention and understand what's happening when we've got Elon Musk out here spending millions of dollars really trying to bribe voters. And like I said, he's not doing that because he cares about Wisconsinites. Another thing that people should know about is that Elon Musk's company, Tesla, filed a lawsuit against the state of Wisconsin and has a case moving through our state courts right now. That lawsuit was filed just days before Elon Musk started spending millions of dollars on this race. So Elon Musk has financial stakes here, and I think he's seeing this as a test case. If he can buy a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, I think we'll see him doing a whole lot more of this across the country because he's got business interests across the country. So again, just looking for voters, asking you to pay attention to what's going on and make sure you don't give up your power by staying at home, and that you vote to stand up for your own rights, and that's a vote for Susan Crawford. So I urge everybody to go to the polls tomorrow and vote for me.
Tomorrow, April 1st, but we are no April Fools. We're not going to let Elon Musk and all of his supporters have a disproportionate say-so in our Wisconsin State Supreme Court race. Thank you, Judge Crawford, and good luck to you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Pleasure talking to you.
All right, The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
President Trump and Elon Musk are forcing radical changes in Washington, from stopping payments for health care and threatening to restrict abortion rights to accessing Americans' private information. With Washington out of control, who we elect to the Wisconsin Supreme Court could be the last line of defense of our rights. The ACLU Voter Education Fund does not endorse or oppose candidates, but wants you to cast an informed vote in the Wisconsin Supreme Court election. So where do the candidates land on issues like abortion? Brad Schimmel stated he supports banning abortion. Susan Crawford successfully protected abortion rights while representing Planned Parenthood in Wisconsin. We need a Wisconsin Supreme Court that can be a check and balance to protect us when our rights are threatened at the federal level. On April 1st, Wisconsin voters will make a critical decision about the future of abortion in our state. To learn more about the Wisconsin Supreme Court candidates, visit aclu.org/WI2025. Paid for by ACLU Voter Education Fund, 212-549-2500. Not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
ACLU Voter Education Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Experience, knowledge,
That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Are you looking for an opportunity to better the Milwaukee community? Do you want to develop your skills for a career or job? City of Milwaukee is recruiting for its 16th cohort of AmeriCorps members. We are hiring young adults ages 18 to 25 to serve our amazing scholars in Milwaukee Public Schools. This opportunity allows you to serve your community and gain professional development, which will allow you to enter the workforce, your next educational journey, or even stay with us for a second year of service. Visit cityyear.org to connect with our local recruiters and learn how to apply by Friday, May 2nd.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump are out of control, slashing healthcare and food for hungry kids, eliminating the Department of Education. Now, Musk and Trump are trying to buy a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, spending millions to elect extremist Brad Schimmel. And if elected, Schimmel wants to criminalize abortion, even in cases of rape and incest. Brad Schimmel, an extreme rubber stamp for Musk and Trump, and wrong for Wisconsin. We need justices who are fair, who know right from wrong. Judge Susan Crawford has spent her life standing up for Wisconsin and keeping us safe. She'll always protect our right to choose, and Crawford will be the check and balance we need against Elon Musk and Donald Trump. On April 1st, vote Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Go to www.iwillvote.com to find out where and how to cast your vote by April 1st. Paid for by Power to the Polls Action Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
So good to be back in the DJ driver's seat. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to call myself a DJ anymore. So for the first hour and 30 minutes of this program, my sound card on my PC that I use in the host studio was switched off some kind of way. So I was unable to play the music. And earlier, if you were listening, the last commercial played and you guys heard the worst thing you can ever hear in radio is dead air because my computer was unable to play music, but we got the IT guys to come down here and we got my music back. So I want to apologize to the DJ twins, both DJ Brother Z and DJ Ricky Allen. You guys are DJs.
Thank you.
You make your money and your living going to the clubs and